Hey, what's up? It's a Figure Hunter, and today for review is the Oura Ring. The Oura Ring, you just wear it on your finger. It's got heart rate sensors, heart rate variability sensors, temperature sensors, all sorts of things built into it to give you a basic simple of sleep, restoration, and overall activity level for today. I've been super fired up to test this. I did not test the previous renditions, but just with the new updates and the new hardware, I've been curious to see how it stands up versus some of the other wellness aspects that are built into many of the other watches on the market today. So as always, everything on this channel is for testing and tracking devices for the purpose of CrossFit and high intensity interval training. This is a little bit off the beaten path, but if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing for more. I've got the Apple Watch Series 7 testing going on. I'm gonna do something actually sort of unique with that, and many other testing items still yet to come. So, looking at the Oura Ring, we're going to look at a few simple things. We're going to talk about the specs. We're going to look at a hands-on and just simply of the ring and the sizing kit you get. We're going to look at the app, just an overview of the app, of the basic information you get, the basic wellness aspects and how it works there. And then I'm going to talk about the critique after having used it for a couple of weeks, and also always tracking and testing other devices and other watches that provide wellness aspects. We're going to talk about how it compares to some of the other primary devices on the market today and some of the other aspects you could get if you just wore a watch. But we're obviously just looking at the ring for today. So looking at the specs, it basically costs $300 to buy the ring. You get 6 months off of the membership, so no charges for 6 months. And after that, it starts at $6 a month. So if we price these things, typically price it over a 2-year cycle, that's $408. So it's a $400 device. So it is, got to be worth its salt if you're going to pay $400 out of pocket. The ring is made out of titanium, so obviously it's got a bunch of different sensors built into it. We'll look at it in a second, but it is definitely a high quality device. Everything about the Oura experience so far has been high quality, so you have to weigh yourself if $400 is worth it for what we're going to talk about today that you get out of it. I've been getting about 6 to 7 days of battery life, which is actually pretty stellar. That's pretty solid, and that is worthwhile. To not have to charge it for every 6 to 7 days is fantastic. It's got PVD coating. It only weighs 4 to 6 grams. It is a little bit thick, so I have noticed, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, have noticed just it being felt on the ring, but it's not because of the weight. It's water resistant to 200 or to 100 meters, which is 300 and something feet. So plenty of water resistance. You basically don't have to even think about it. You just wear it and it gives you results. So with that, we're going to look at an overview. We're going to look at a hands-on of just the sizing kit and the ring and just sort of look at it a little bit. And then we're going to talk about an overview of the app and then come back together. And here you have it, the Oura Ring and the box that it comes in. We're going to look at one thing in particular before we dive into that. You get a sizing kit, which you just basically are requested to wear for 24 hours just to see which size, which ring, which finger you want to actually use it on. So it's, really high quality. You can get really accurate sort of overall reading. The box itself just comes with simple things. We're not even going to look at the unboxing because that's not really worthwhile. This is the ring itself. So you can see that it's got sort of a squared edge on one side. This is the black shiny. It is a bit of a bummer that to get the black matte finish, you pay $100 extra, so that is $400. And then you have a variety of sensors just built into it that are tracking a bunch of different metrics. And the nodules, like the little bumps on it, they don't feel too noticeable, but the ring itself is a little bit thick. If you can see the thickness of it, it does feel a little bit noticeable on my hand. I have larger knuckles, so I have to get a little bit bigger size, but it still fits really tightly. But overall, because of the size and because you do have these nodules, just the general feel, it is definitely felt on the day-to-day basis. But that is the ring itself, and let's talk about the app and all the value that it brings there. Okay, and so here you have it. This is the basic app, and this is like the home page. You can go to any other day by just clicking there to see your summary for the day before. It does always have, like in the middle here with this recovery index, you can click in, you can learn more about the recovery index and how it calculates things. But the simple things is your activity, your heart rate throughout the day, and then your overall workouts. It does go into your readiness and sleep at the bottom. And so you can see, primary information there. It'll give you a simple summary on this home page of the sleep and the readiness aspects, but it just basically gives you your sleep score and your readiness score to start the day. So your readiness, obviously, it's on a scale of 0 to 100, and sleep is on the same. You have your activities. These are all just ported in from different watches, but so basically Apple Watch, Garmin, Polar, it seems like they're all connecting in to give you, basic information. It doesn't have a whole lot of information to it. It just tells you like the impact of the, calories burned, that sort of thing. So then we go over to the next tab over, the readiness tab. So you can see your summary across many days that I've been wearing it. And the number in the bar is the actual resting heart rate, and the bar itself, I think it's supposed to tie into your overall readiness. Yeah, obviously it's the blue, but 76 doesn't look quite low enough for what it should be. But yeah, 76 is what it's saying I am today. I'm in good status. And we're going to talk about that in the critique based on some of the other variables of the reality of the situation. It tracks it across 8 different metrics and gives you scores in that. And then you can see details. So the lowest heart rate in the night and the average variability throughout the night. The restoration is only focused on the impact of your sleep on your body. And it primarily is only focused on the heart rate variability. So then you go into the sleep aspects, and you can see your sleep as it relates to, like different stages of sleep throughout the time that you've been wearing it. And again, you can see just the overall aspects of sleep, the stages, the time, the percentages, all the things that you would see on many other devices today. Then you got the details, a snapshot. This looks like a lot that are out there. So you can see information there, and then your lowest heart rate and your heart rate variability, which we saw on the previous screens. The next tab over is the activity tab. So you can see, again, just how much activity you've maintained in the high, medium, and low, and the overall time you spent throughout the day in different aspects of activity. And then you can see the workout, obviously super high, and then you see the workouts down below, again, like we saw on the home page. So the activity page is just to show how much overall activity you're doing. And then you have the Explore tab, which basically includes breathing exercise, meditation, sleep things that'll help you prepare for sleep. And I really think this is really cool. I mean, this is, I would feel, as high quality as a paid app that I purchased. And then you can go into recent sessions, and this is what it's going to look like after you've gone through a meditation session. It'll just show you your heart rate over that time and your heart rate variability over that time, and then your skin temperature change over the course of the session. So it's really summarized in those 5 areas. So your home, which is your summary, and then readiness, sleep, activity, and then meditation that's capable, but primarily readiness, sleep, and activity. So let's talk about it a little bit and then look at the critique. Okay, I mean, it basically provides a lot of value on the wellness side. And obviously, I really believe it's just a wellness-only type of device. So there's a lot of aspects you can see about your overall quality of sleep and the restoration that your body experienced through that sleep, and then your general activity level, the meditation aspects. But what are my critiques? What are the things that I haven't really liked? And we're going to look at that in the app itself and compare it to some of the other wellness aspects of other watches that are on the market today. Now, obviously, to get wellness aspects, you have to track heart rate. To get heart rate, you have to wear it somewhere. You have to have some device worn somewhere. So yes, it doesn't compare apples to apples, a watch to a ring. But yes, it does compare apples to apples for a device that pulls in your heart rate variability, and just a bunch of different metrics to tell you sort of how your sleep's doing, how your restoration's doing, and general things like that. So we're going to look at all the critiques primarily on the app and compare it to other things. We're going to talk about it throughout, and then we'll come back together for a summary. Okay, so we're going to look at critique in some minor areas, but we're going to start off with like a major area, and that has to do with how it tracks your restoration. So here's my restoration score for today, 76. This week has been really difficult. There's been a lot of different difficulties just in life and in work and in a lot of different ways, and my sleep has been sort of all over the place. You can't quite see it as easily there, but my sleep scores have been good, but my time to bed, my overall quality of sleep has not been good. Last night, I took my son to a late movie of this new Spider-Man movie, and then I had to finish up a video after. I got to bed super late, so super late night, and then, I slept a normal amount of time, but I was feeling wrecked in the morning. So you can see it looks okay, 6 hours of sleep, It gave me a score of 69, which is saying pay attention. Not the best score, but my readiness came out at 76, and it did not feel like I was 76% ready for the day. It was not accurate from the level of impact on the week. Now you can see that the week sort of declined my readiness overall, but let's compare it to Garmin. So number one, here's the Garmin, how it said. So it's basically saying I was 63% regenerated, but with Garmin you can see your body battery at any time, so you can see it over the course of many days. And in most of the days I was just getting a little bit of a regeneration at sleep and then getting worn down pretty significantly throughout the day. And specifically this day, I was really not feeling great, and it shows it very clearly. It was saying 63%. Now maybe that compares somewhat similar to 76, but at least I can see the quantified value in a more worthwhile way. I can see like how it built, why it built, and then how it built and was affected by the previous day's impact. And then here you don't get as much of a window in. It's just sort of a shallow snapshot of the last night's sleep and an inaccurate score if I was being honest about things. So the other thing that it doesn't handle well is the recovery throughout the day. So this is a snapshot of my sleep last night, but in my worn down throughout the week, I actually took a long nap today. And here on the Garmin, you can see that I regenerated my body battery. I restored myself through sleep. So it actually picked it up that I had a full restoration to an even higher readiness score, you could say, but a higher, what they call body battery, up to 67% recharge. So I even outpaced my last night's sleep. And then in the app here, you just don't see it. You don't see it anywhere. I mean, it doesn't pick up any aspect of that long nap that I took that actually was super helpful, and I feel a ton better. Even on the heart rate side, it says I have 2 hours. It picks this up here so you can see that my heart rate's super low at different points here, and it's categorizing it with little blue bubbles, which shows that it was sleep, but it doesn't actually flow into my readiness overall. It doesn't affect those things. And then the sleep aspects, it doesn't capture it as a nap. It just doesn't capture naps. So that's one of the things that's frustrating there. The other thing that's overall frustrating is just it's a little bit simplified of a platform, and there's a few minor things. First, you can see at the top is a workout. So this workout was not a workout whatsoever, but this tends to happen 2 or 3 times a day where it thinks I did a workout. This is where I start to question their ability to actually track workouts effectively. This was me just carrying a few things into goodwill. It said it was 17 minutes, but yes, I was moving a few things in there, and you can choose to keep it. It shows you your activity throughout that period, and you could categorize it. So it does have workout detection, but no, that was not a workout. That was me just moving some things in. Then you have your activity goal progress. I like this as a bar. I will say one thing, most people are not going to have this problem. When it tracks all these activities, you cannot remove them. So, you can try to edit the workout, and it's like, you can't edit this. This was ported in from somewhere else. And so I don't know if this activity bar is accurate, because some watches will track overlap. So if you did, workout and you tracked it across 3 devices, it would actually just keep the summary of the time, like the average of the time, not stack them on top of each other. So I don't know if this activity bar is taking into account all these metrics. Now that's unique for me because I'm tracking in multiple devices, but overall I would say that it's nice that it has an activity bar and it shows you your activity, but it doesn't take as much of it into account for your restoration depending on the day. So yes, within the day, you can see that you were active and the periods you were active. It obviously miscategorizes workouts even too, but it doesn't show the impact of the day on your readiness as of right now. It just shows, okay, your readiness score is based on last night's sleep. And so that's just, again, one-dimensional. It doesn't take into account the whole day's impact on your overall ability to maybe face a hard workout if I was going to go work out right now. So with that, let's talk about it. So what do I think in summary? Obviously, the critiques, being what they are of the device itself, I think it is a very cool wellness device. If you can get past wearing, many people talk about not being able to sleep with a watch on because it just bothers them. And so this is a way you can get all of the different analytical aspects on a ring. It is just, it's just real state of the art. I think it's actually they're doing something very excellent. I love the period predictor. I think for a female, that's got to be super worthwhile. I was obviously not able to track that, but the way that it tracks the change in body temperature, really useful stuff. I love the meditation aspects. I actually paid for a meditation app at one point because I believe that's a functionally used. It's just really beneficial to your overall wellness. But the fact that it's built in, all the meditation videos that come with it, and the way that it tracks the impact on your heart rate and your overall internal aspects is, physiological impact is really worthwhile. It's got good sleep analysis. I can't say if it's more accurate than others. There are other reviewers that test the accuracy when compared to like a sleep lab setup. And it's, I would say it's good sleep analysis when I've watched other videos, but it's just good information. The information it gives from the sleep is worthwhile. But I do feel like the readiness is questionable. As we saw, compared to the Garmin, I don't think it's picking up the whole picture of readiness, and it's not keeping in mind the impact of the day on your readiness at any point in the day, just your readiness from the quality of sleep that you experience. And that to me feels one-dimensional. So its readiness is good. I do feel like it's has a worthwhile aspect to it, but I don't know that it's as in-depth as it should be with obviously all the things that are on the market today. And then the last thing I would say is that I don't think there's any way they're going to accomplish the workout aspect. I don't think there's any way they're going to be able to actually accomplish true workout tracking for fitness side of things. So this is just a wellness only device, and you have to measure it's $400 worth it for a wellness only aspect. I would say it's top quality in the way that they're in the design and the overall quality of the ring itself and the way that they're presenting the material and the analytics they're looking at. I do feel like it's excellent quality on the wellness side, but I don't know if they're going to be able to pull off the workout things. And obviously, they might be able to ramp up all the sensors, like to make the light ultra strong so that it's picking up on things. But other analytical reviews on the heart rate accuracy I've seen so far just shows that it's really hard to see if they're going to be able to accomplish the workouts. And then behind that, are they going to be able to accomplish the analytics of the workouts? What value analytically are they going to provide? Or is it just going to be heart rate tracking? So that's still left to be seen. And obviously, it's probably 6 months out. And if you are not into watches, if you just don't like something on your wrist, this is an excellent solution for wellness only. Obviously, everything I test and track on this channel is for the purpose of testing for the workout training side of things, the CrossFit training side of things, and this just doesn't accomplish that. But another big aspect of training, if you have a high training regimen, is how quality your wellness is and your recovery and your sleep and all the other aspects of life that tie into your ability to go into the next rigorous workout. So it does do great in that, but it's not going to accomplish all the comprehensive things a watch could accomplish, because you can track all your analysis, all your analytics of your workouts and your training load and your recovery time estimated between one workout and the next. And then you also can get all the wellness aspects that you would get with this ring. So for me, I don't think it has quite the value for $400 when I can get all those same wellness aspects and what I believe is more worthwhile wellness aspects in a couple of areas on other devices with just a regular watch that provides all those other values that a watch would provide. So with that, that's the Fit Gear Hunter. It's the Oura Ring. Thanks so much for watching.